This is the Great Dismal Swamp. Hundreds of years ago, this sprawling wetland about the size of Delaware stretched down the east coast. Hidden inside was a refuge to tens of thousands of Black people called Maroons who escaped the bonds of slavery, some living free for generations. They grew into a state-sized stronghold against chattel slavery that lasted more than 250 years in the middle of the South. Great Dismal Swamp Maroons were not just one community, but many communities. We can think of them in three main groups. Each was shaped by where they lived in the swamp and how they resisted slavery. Early Maroons likely had help getting to the swamp from indigenous peoples. Many Algonquin-speaking tribes and others had lived along the swamp's coast for thousands of years. But the first major evidence of Great Dismal Marronage came in 1730. Some 200 enslaved people managed to escape to the swamp. People who persevered many miles into the swamp became interior Maroons. These Maroons forged dozens of new societies sustained by nature. Interior Maroon communities raised their children in freedom, which they guarded fiercely. They lived in secrecy and were known to carefully monitor surrounding areas and vet new members. For several generations, these communities thrived through cooperation with each other and with nature. Perhaps it's not surprising that the slave-owning society found Maroons' existence terrifying. The second and most common group of Great Dismal Maroons were fringe Maroons. These Maroons were people who had fled slavery but lived on the outer edges or fringes of the swamp, often to stay close to family members who remained enslaved. Fringe Maroons stayed hidden by developing secret codes to communicate with nearby enslaved people. For others, especially in the 1800s, the swamp was a pit stop on the Underground Railroad. In Norfolk, Virginia, officials declared a state of emergency after Maroons killed several white men. This was a key tactic also used by a third group, the Canal Maroons. Since the beginning of American slavery, enslaved people have staged more than 250 slave rebellions. Those who survived likely retreated back to the swamp, where they may have remained until the Civil War. Archaeological records show remains of Maroon communities in the swamp up to roughly 1865, suggesting that most Maroons left the swamp when the war ended.